him. I can't control what 300 million people do.
Someone else who's smart has joined us. Sarah Isger Flores is here. She has worked for, are you ready? Cruz, Fiorina, Romney, RNC. That's what we call bona fides.
Story that has reported that Ted Cruz has allegedly had affairs with at least 5 mistresses, including you've been named, Amanda.
I'm sorry, I don't think that's moving on at all, Adriana.
Mystery. We've got a mystery on our hands. This does not make any sense to me at all. Tell me if it makes any sense to you. $500,000 to Carly for America. The Carly in Carly for America is Carly Fiorina, one of Ted Cruz's direct competitors in the race for president. Carly for America is the super PAC that's trying to get her elected. The Ted Cruz super PAC is trying to get Carly Fiorina elected president? Why would a super PAC specifically set up for Ted Cruz be giving $500,000 to someone running against Ted Cruz? This is so weird. Something is up here.
This Twitter war between Donald Trump and Ted Cruz this week was it's over the top, really. What's your opinion of the retweet of the Heidi Cruz and Melania Trump pictures?
Well, I don't think we should start there. We should start with the fact that a super PAC that supports
No. I want to know
Donald
what your
Trump's
opinion
wife.
is. I'm not going to let you do that.
Don, let me just say, I'm going to answer that.
Omarosa, stop.
I'm going to answer that. Because let me tell you,
Omarosa, stop.
wife,
Omarosa.
he's going
okay,
to come back
stop.
for you.
Everybody, cut the mic. Everybody. We're not doing that. I want everyone on this panel to answer the question directly. Then I will let you...
You can ask questions, but you can't answer them, Don.
Okay.
You can ask them, but I have to answer them.
Okay, we'll be right back. We'll be right back.
I will.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
But I will say this, Eric. I had a daytime talk show for 11 years. For 11 years, I worked with Mike Walker, the chief gossip columnist for the National Enquirer. I was with him when he was right on O.J. Simpson, right on Tiger Woods, right on Senator John Edwards when he was the leading candidate for the Democratic nomination in 2004, and Rael Hunter, the mistress that was exposed. I think now Ted Cruz says that Donald Trump is a sniveling coward for going after Heidi and that it's all lies, that he had 5 affairs and he has all these mistresses that used to work for him in various capacities in the campaign or in his Senate office. So Ted Cruz is denying it. I'm just saying that the National Enquirer is more often right than they are wrong.
Insulting her, and then he and his henchmen planted a garbage story in the National Enquirer that is just filled with lies. It's totally false. It is a story that quoted one source on the record, Roger Stone.
But I want to welcome in Roger Stone, Republican political consultant, correspondent at the Daily Caller, and editor of StoneZone.com, and author of The Clintons' War on Women. Hello, sir. The National Enquirer story that came out that claimed that a hooker and a teacher and co-workers, 5 women, had affairs with Ted Cruz. You are mentioned in the story. You're the only person with a quote in the story in the Enquirer. Did you give this information and story to the Enquirer?
Absolutely, positively, categorically not. If I were going to perpetrate a dirty trick, if I were going to plant this story, why would I allow myself to be quoted in the story, leaving a big old thumbprint?
This is Counter. Ted Cruz has been mentioned in an article in the National Enquirer alleging that he had an affair with 5 women. Now, sex sells, and that can't be any more true than this year's presidential campaign. This story is a perfect example of that. Now, Ted Cruz has gone on to deny it, to point the finger at Donald Trump and his campaign, to say that this is just another part of foul tricks and dirty deeds done by Donald Trump against him and his family and his poor wife. But is that really true? Is there any truth to those comments, those accusations? Probably not. And you only need to look at the people accused in the article to see why. For example, one of the women accused is actually Trump's national spokesperson. Now, in a time where Donald Trump's campaign manager is currently charged with assault or battery, why would he go and accuse his spokesperson as well? Why would he continue to sabotage his own campaign? But if you look further and you see the people involved, the people affected, you realize that really who benefit from this is either John Kasich, who's the other candidate running, or the Republican National Committee. In other words, the establishment Republican Party. Why? Well, because this muddying of the water just leads to a contested convention. This takes away votes. This is another slice. Ted Cruz, who, by the way, is not very well received within establishment Republicans, but at the same time has had a history in this campaign of doing things less than formal and less than honest. You have the misinformation he said about the Ben Carson campaign, that he was dropping out of the primary the day of the primary as people were entering ballots and putting their votes. A rumor that he claimed came from CNN, which one of the women actually works for. Then you also have the undisclosed loan that he took from Goldman Sachs, who his wife works for, and who he had received a very beneficial interest rate on that loan, which he later claimed came from his wife's retirement fund, which again was not true. Then you have other women involved who are connected to Carly Fiorina's campaign and Ted Cruz's campaigns. Now this leads to the existing theory that this large amount of money that was funneled between both super PACs, you're talking about $500,000, was actually hush money to Carly because she found out about this illicit relationship that Ted Cruz had, and this was basically sort of bribe. Again, this is all speculation. However, hindsight's 2020. Today, Carly Fiorina actually supports Ted Cruz, and she does defend him adamantly, his affair. So take that as you will. Regardless, this whole situation has become somewhat muddied because of this article, more so than it already had. And again, you don't have an election process talking about real issues. You're really talking about rumor, hearsay, gossip. But I want to know what you guys think about this, because there's a lot of information to process, and it's only getting worse with rumors coming out about the DC madam and her prostitution ring and how Ted Cruz could possibly be involved in this. Again, with so much accusations, you're used to the words alleged and supposed and maybe, and it's all speculative. We don't really know, but I want to know what you guys think, because there's just more and more things coming out of the woodwork. And if this is any indication of how the process is going to continue, then Jesus, when we get to that final couple of months of elections, once the candidates are decided, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be crazy. So write in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Do you believe it? Do you believe the story? Do you think Ted is innocent? Do you trust Ted? I love it. It's always great marketing when normally you market people's weakness. So if a person's weak on immigration, you want to bolster that. So if the idea of that Ted Cruz is honest, naturally you would want to market the idea that he's trusted. To communicate the idea that whatever you heard in the past, disregard it. This is the message that you have to transmit, that Ted Cruz is a trusted politician, that he is not the establishment, he's not part of the good old boys, that he's a stringent constitutionalist. And that may be all well and good, but that certainly doesn't seem to be the case publicly. Not now, not in this election cycle. But again, let me know what you guys think. Put in the comments, rate this video. I'm going to be working on more stuff like this. Trying to wrap my head around trying to do something about the Panama Papers, because that's and in my honest opinion, just to give you a little teaser, I think that's a huge smokescreen. That thing is riddled with questionable sources all over the place. I think there's a deeper story lying underneath that, so I'm gonna try to get that to you guys as soon as I can. Just rate, comment, subscribe. I honestly would appreciate that subscribe button. Certainly tells me that I'm going in the right direction and that you guys want those videos as quickly as possible. And we'll see where this journey takes us. This is my first video under this moniker of Counter. I want this channel to be something of an amalgam of different perspectives and opinions, to challenge the establishment, to challenge the status quo, to look beyond the scripted narrative that you see with your eyes every day. Because we live in a world of propaganda, in a world of commerce. And ultimately, I believe that right now we're reaching an end game to that there is some type of primordial shift in our perspectives. And this is Counter. And you were watching.